Here.
Michael Johannes.
Here.
Brian Moore.
Here. Okay. First thing we have on the agenda for tonight is the minutes of our previous meetings that we had last month and for this one.
Yeah, we have several.
We need to do one at a time, or can we do all
I
at
would do
once
it
at a
at a
time?
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I make a motion to approve the March 3rd special meeting minutes.
Second.
Second.
Okay. I have a first from Trish and a second from Mike. Any other discussion on these minutes? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let it be known it passes 5-0. And how about the meeting?
The minutes from March 9th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the March 9th, 2026 regular town council meeting minutes.
Second. I have a first from Jason and a second from Brian on the minutes from March 9th at 5:30. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those that oppose say nay. Be known passes 5-0.
I have minutes from March 30th, 2026, a special meeting of the town council.
Make a motion to approve the March 30th, 2026 special town council meeting minutes. Second.
I have a first from Jason and a second from Mike on the March 30th minutes. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known passes 5-0.
So I also have an executive session was held on April 2nd, 2026. The minutes just read that we met at 5:00 p.m. It was held according to IC Code 5-14-1.5-6.1B5. Discussion was held according to code and no votes were taken at the executive session.
Make a motion to approve April 2nd's executive session.
Second.
I have a first from Trish and a second from Jason to approve the executive session on April 2nd. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 5-0.
I have executive session meeting minutes from April 9th, 2026. The executive session was held according to IC Code 5-14-1.5-6.1B5. Discussion was held according to the code and no votes were taken at the executive session.
Make a motion to approve downtown Claus executive session minutes for April 9th. Second.
I have a first from Jason and a second from Mike on the special executive session on April 9th. Any other comments on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 5-0.
I think that's it for minutes.
Okay, the next thing we have on the agenda is comments from the public. And we have Christy here with SCEDA.
Should I come up?
Yes, it is.
Hi, thank you. I'm Christy Powell with Spencer County Economic Development Authority. I'm the director, and we are requesting an appointment to the Santa Claus representative on that board. We've recently had a vacation of it, and we're hoping to replace it. The commissioners have recommended Grayson Goodness.
Okay.
The letter is in your packets as well.
I did send a letter with a short bio for Grayson and some other just general information about the board.
I guess my first question would be to the council. Is there anyone here on ours from here who would like to be on it? Who can make the meetings on think you said that they're usually on Tuesdays.
Yes, the
In the morning.
21st would be the next meeting.
If not, I would like for everybody to think about a name and consider Grayson. And if we could come up with a determination for our next meeting in May.
Is there a reason that Grayson was selected?
So Grayson was very interested. He did come with Brian Grolick to a SKIDA meeting. He's just very motivated to serve. He's has a lot of experience with business. I don't have his biography right in front of me.
Yes,
I
we have.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yes, good deal, good deal. And we thought he would be a good selection for the board.
Comments legal?
Do you know if the bylaws were changed since, I got those back when Trish was appointed? And
Yes,
one of my
that should be the same bylaws, yes.
Because one of my concerns was that the way that it reads, it says that the board will include one representative appointed by the mayor of Rockport and one representative from each of the following town councils, and then it lists all of the towns. I mean,
I think
I
our
think-
attorneys vetted it pretty fully. I think that the wording is a little bit confusing, but his determination and the intent of the commissioners was it to be anyone, any representative.
Because
Does not
it's-
need to be a council member.
Because it says from the town council, which, instead of saying one representative appointed by the following each of the following town councils, it reads like it should come from the council, a member of the council, and that's actually a quorum of your board is those appointees, I believe.
So I
No, he-
believe Josh commented back with you on an email back
No,
and
he-
forth.
No, he never responded to that issue.
Oh, okay.
I don't think-
I'll forward it to you and show you. Yes, he did review that, and his determination was the intent was it does not need to be a town council member.
Okay.
I would like to see if anybody wants to step up from the town council, or if we have another person that you guys would like to nominate also, and make a determination at the May meeting.
Is it every Tuesday morning?
It's not
The
once a
third
month,
Tuesday.
Third Tuesday, but sometimes there's special meetings called. So then it could be two.
And we do ask board members to come with us on business retention visits. It's about 4 to 6 hours a month of work.
And the meetings are at 9 o'clock, is that right? I'm
Correct.
sorry, third Tuesday, 9
And
o'clock.
typically at the 4-H center. It's a-
Correct, yes. That's been
youth center.
working well for us, yes, yes. I think they needed to name it a community center for a grant or something, so that's why they changed the name, yes, yes. It's a little confusing, but yes, the old 4-H center.
I say 4-H.
According to Mike Kelly's schedule, I'd only be able to make 2 of them this year.
To this year. That was my problem.
I'm on Region 15,
Yeah.
I have no interest in this.
Brian, yeah, been working time. Have you ever thought about it, was it that more?
I haven't thought about it, no.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
The next 4 next year.
Well,
do you guys want to table it, or you want to accept?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not-
okay, we're going
Wait
to
till
table it
after
till.
Kevin gets the email from her that supposedly explains this, so.
I'll forward it to you.
Appreciate it, Christie.
thank you, thanks for coming.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments from the floor? We've got a pretty good group of people here tonight. Okay. Not, comments from the council or anybody? Okay, if not, we're gonna move on with the meeting. Police chief nomination. So we did a lot of interviews over the last week, looking at apps, and last week we did call in several people to talk to. And since that was an executive meeting, we couldn't make a decision at the time. And I'd like to entertain a motion for somebody for our new police chief once James leaves in May.
I would like to say that there are some things that immediately change an applicant being considered. Number one, any record, we got all the records for the different people. And so anything that is and police officers, you understand this, a flaw that is legally bound on the person's record. Number two is not completing the entire application process. So not having all the paperwork. That is, even if you work somewhere, not having all the paperwork is, in every job I've ever worked, it's an automatic throw out. You didn't follow the instructions in order to apply. So those two things are automatic throwouts.
With that being said, there was several good candidates. We didn't all agree on some. There was one that I felt should have been interviewed. Had a letter of recommendation from the school superintendent, had a letter of recommendation from a school board member, had a letter of recommendation for a high-ranking official at Holiday World. But we couldn't come to an agreement, and we didn't interview this person. It is what it is. So I guess I'm gonna be the one to be left to make the motion to offer a job position to Chris King.
Okay.
I'll second.
I have a first and second from James and Brian to nominate Chris King as our new police chief. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, passes 5-0. We could reach out to Chris tomorrow and let him know.
Yes, I will do so.
Appreciate it.
Were you,
And our hope is
Salary.
that James will help him make that transition, since James knows this department and help out with that.
Ms. Wilt, will you entertain that
Salary.
discussion from the gallery at this time?
The vote is over.
I understand that. You stated that you received and reviewed all records in question on every applicant you interviewed.
We received,
What would those records consist of?
well,
And how were they obtained?
if somebody through the, what, James, you know, the board, how did we get our records?
We
you helped us
requested
get
them.
that.
You talked about
The big
The disciplinary
reports.
records and stuff.
Yes.
From the agencies that they work
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, where did we get
their
it?
entire personnel file, actually.
Right.
Yeah, it's their entire personnel file from any prior law enforcement employer is what's required by Indiana law.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry, I didn't
No,
know
thank you.
exact terms.
Thank you.
There'll be a background check done, I'm sure, right?
Oh, there'll be all
Yeah.
kinds of things, yeah.
We can make another motion for that.
Yeah, for salary. That's, I didn't know if y'all wanted to make a motion to set the terms of employment that you're going to offer as far as salary. Obviously, all the other terms would be the standard employment terms.
So I make a motion to offer $65,000 as a starting salary.
Second.
I have a first and second from Trish and Mike to offer the salary of $65,000.
Again, will you take comments from the gallery prior to the vote?
Yes,
I
we will.
understand, yes or no?
We will, you will.
Prior to the vote.
Mr. President, is that contingent on the passing or approval of the background investigation? And I'm curious as to who would conduct that background investigation on their ultimate findings.
Kevin?
The only thing we have is to check for any credit anomalies, and then I do the driving check as far as to make sure he's got a valid driver's license, but I don't know what other kind of investigation you plan on doing.
We have the personnel file, we're gonna do a credit check and also did you say a driving check?
Yeah, I always check everybody who's gonna drive a
What else were you
town
thinking
vehicle.
beyond the personnel file?
Possibly an open records request for any of my cases.
If a record was filed but was not, signed by the judge, then
Any comment on that?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about as far as any, I mean, we know he's got a divorce in his past, and a protective order was filed against him, but never issued by his,
right? And
Then-
given joint custody after.
yeah, then
the
pending,
petition was
his
filed.
then pending to-be ex-wife, I don't know what you'd call that, divorcee-elect, had filed for a protective order but it was never issued, so, yeah. Other than that, I didn't find, I've already checked his past as far as that goes. There's no criminal history. He had the one protective order that was filed
I feel
against
like
him,
we're
which
getting
was
into like a
dismissed.
personnel
Yeah,
issue,
this
that this
is-
should have
I mean,
been
it's all-
discussed at the
it's all public
executive-
record. I
I
mean,
know,
yeah.
but I mean,
So I don't know as far as any, you don't need to make any request for that. Anybody can check it on my case and see what the status was on it.
Okay. As far as any other discussion, we're gonna offer the standard vacation, standard health insurance that come with a normal employee, correct?
yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Let be known, passes 5-0 on the salary.
Do we have an expected start date?
I have not, I'll find out when I offer him the job. I will contact him and let him know.
He's
And then,
currently employed, so I would say he needs to give his 2 weeks, but
Okay. And then,
depends on if they take that or not.
are we going to bump James up while his remainder of time at this pay?
I mean, we would
I
have
don't
to,
know why.
I mean, that would have to require an amended I was not aware that this was an option, so that would require an amended salary ordinance to do that, which would take 2 readings. So, the soonest that could, I mean, unless we had special meetings, I mean, to get it approved, I mean, you would have to have a first reading, you'd have to have a second reading, and then, so, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, you can't just
I understand.
increase someone's pay, I mean,
Well,
it's
we
gotta be
kind of just brought
amended.
somebody in at a higher pay, so I don't see why we can't.
Yeah,
Figure
well, I was
out-
gonna ask about that. I mean, if Chris says, I can start tomorrow, if he goes to his current employer and says, I'm leaving, and they say, we'll escort you to the door, so he says, I can start Monday, you do need to amend your salary ordinance for that to get it in effect whenever he comes on board. Because I think you wanna get him
Well,
here
we
as,
can do that after we see if that happens.
yeah, but I'm just saying, if Jane calls him tomorrow and says, you're hired, depending on his time frame, you might have to have some special meetings to change the salary ordinance anyway to make it effective when he comes aboard. If you're gonna start paying him at that rate of pay immediately, even though he's not actually the town marshal, you would hire him in as,
So if we would have a special meeting, we could do first and second reading?
well, you've had a first reading, you can simply amend, you've got one pending right now under a first reading.
Okay,
You can make
No.
that change and then just have a second reading.
No, this is supposed to be the second reading night, so if we wanna,
They can table it.
hold off on
They can
that, I
table it
guess
and
we
make a
can
change
table that.
tonight, so they've already had a first reading.
I think we
that's
need
up,
to.
whatever you guys want to do.
That's what I would recommend, that if you're going to do that, the only thing would be to, obviously, you've only got a line item for town marshal on there right now, which is James, so you're gonna have to come up with some title under what you're going to call him between now and May 22nd, when James leaves, because then he'll become the town marshal.
yep.
Like right now, he wouldn't actually be the town marshal until James is gone, so he'd be like the town marshal, I guess you'd put him on as a deputy. Deputy marshal pending James's leaving. So we'd probably add a line item on there for Chris's salary right now. And then you can either change the town marshals to the 65,000 immediately, which would accomplish your purpose, so then when he becomes the town marshal on May 22nd,
Just takes the
he automatically would bump up. Basically, put them both at the same salary right now. Put your special deputy marshal, which would be Chris King, and the town marshal, change your salary ordinance right now to add a line item for him, put James at the same salary, and then May 22nd, whenever Chris takes the position as town marshal.
Okay, Jane, you have to pull with all this.
That's what I would
Yep.
recommend.
So we need to set a special meeting date if you want it
Yes.
effective immediately.
Yes.
I mean, because I don't have an updated
No,
ordinance to
you can't.
approve.
So the special deputy marshal, we're gonna change the marshal's pay to
Right.
65K, so James will get that.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have, yeah,
Or you just make Chris's starting date is 23rd of May.
yeah, but we need him to,
Well, but you want him to shadow James.
we want him to shadow.
That's what I'm saying, you're gonna have some overlap here as far as, if you want him to come aboard, you gotta pay him if he's coming here to work with James for a period of time,
James,
so.
your intent is to stay until May 22nd?
That's the intent right now.
Thank you.
So do they have to vote tonight to create that position so I can add it to the salary ordinance? Because it's not a current position.
Right, yeah,
So I mean, they would have to make a vote on that, right? For
Yes.
me to be able to even add it to the salary ordinance.
yes. Well, that's what he's been hired as basically the town marshal to be effective May 22nd, but you're going to employ him prior. So we would need to make a motion to have him appointed as the special deputy pending
So May
until
23rd.
James leaves.
Okay, or until James,
Because you're not hiring him as the town marshal right now, because that would, you can only have one town marshal.
yeah. Okay, so
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we create a position, as a temporary, should I make it temporary? Yes,
Yes,
a temporary position as special deputy marshal. So that we can have job shadowing and, some teamwork until May 22nd.
I'm just curious if that actually has to be done, because we technically have a position open. So there's nothing says you can't hire him to fill that position and then
Oh.
promote him from.
True.
within the department.
That is a very good point.
true, we do,
But it,
yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
but
but-
it's a substantial pay decrease for the officer position,
Yeah, but it's a,
so it's up to you.
I know.
And they save a lot of problems doing that.
Mhm.
Well, but right now your deputy salaries are,
Right, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a.
you're still got to adjust the salary ordinance anyway for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a position there though.
Yeah, there's a position open
Mhm.
Yeah,
for another officer that can be.
I mean, I think to be
Well,
clear
but
with
right
the
now
State
they're-
Board of Accounts, we need to do
Yeah,
the
because they're-
temporary deputy marshal position. I mean,
Okay.
so that way it's labeled exactly what we're doing.
All right, my motion stands.
yeah, and that maxes out at 54,000 a year, based on 2,000 hours, because it's $27 an hour for a full-time deputy marshal, hourly up to $27 an hour.
I think we need to be transparent on what we're
Yeah.
actually doing.
So we would
when
have to
they pull
adjust
the
that to
salary
be-
ordinance, it's very clear
That
what's
way you'll keep your
happening.
My
deputies.
motion stood to
So we have a
special deputy.
motion from Trish, and a second from Mike. Any other discussion on this to create a new position as a deputy, you said?
Deputy town marshal.
Deputy Town Marshal, effective immediately, and, for this, and then we will have to adjust the salary ordinance, next step. Okay?
Yes.
Any other discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know when it passes 5-0 as we create that position.
Do you want to set a special meeting date?
I think we should. Because if we don't, then he might be available sooner. Anybody got anything going this week on the 16th, or we want to put it off till Monday?
I'm
Can you do
gonna
this?
be out.
You can step away this week anytime.
16.
You were the 16th?
I can't do it on the 21st.
What about the 20th?
20th, I could, yeah.
I won't be here, but I don't need to be.
We can't.
I mean, you don't need me here.
Can we do Wednesday or the 15th?
You gotta have 48 hours notice.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Oh, yeah, I just gotta change the ordinance, it's not a big deal.
You get it in the
And he may wanna take, even if they tell him to get out immediately, he might wanna take a couple weeks off before he starts a new position, you never know.
20th?
so I can't do this.
Jason can't be here. Can you be here, Brian?
What day?
20th, Monday?
What time we talking? We got, is an APC going
APC,
on?
APC is that
Yeah, we
night.
can do it at 5.
Yeah, because it's just.
Yeah, well, it'll take 5 minutes, so.
Is that okay?
That's fine, yeah.
If there is a APC meeting.
Yeah.
then-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know of anything on the agenda at this point. Do you have?
Okay.
I don't have anything on.
20th at 5?
20th at 5.
Okay.
Okay, I'll notify the newspaper.
Anything else we need to do for that position?
I think so.
James, have you checked his credentials currently? Just to confirm with Ilea? Check with Ilea just to make sure that he said his credentials were good. He had done a refresher
Just
course.
read out his classes.
But we do need to confirm that with Ilea that he's,
Check with them tomorrow just to make sure
I know, but it's just good, it would be good to get something from them to confirm to us that his credentials are current.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that covers it.
You had a comment?
No.
Yes.
Personal.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Max with the fire department.
You got my monthly report for the month of March. We had 18 EMS runs, EMR runs, and 2 field fires for a total of 20 runs for the month. Next Saturday on the 25th, we're gonna be hosting a medicine cabinet cleanout from 8 to noon at the fire station.
Is that across the county?
Yes, at the fire station, Carter, St. Mondard, Luce, and Ohio.
Okay.
So those 5 stations, or anybody that can't come, we have a box out here, you can deposit that during the day, and then they'll take that down, so.
Okay.
And then May 16th, will be a Public Safety Day at Yellick Park. They moved it from August to May this year to the heat, so it'll be a little cooler for us.
May 16th.
May 16th, it's a Saturday,
And what time does normally that start?
10 to 1. Or if it slows down around 12:30, we'll kind of wrap things up.
Okay.
The good news is, we got a grant from Southern Indiana Power for $1,999. We had a lot of complaints from helicopter pilots when they come in over our building. Our tires picking up, it's not lit at night, so that's what the grant is for. We're gonna light that tower, put a red flasher on there, it'll be on a switch. We have a helicopter coming in, we'll be able to flip the switch on, it'll light up. So there'll be a red flashing light at the top, so. So, that was good.
Good, very good.
And then I did talk to Goodart this morning, they're gonna start this week on the heating, cooling, it's getting warm in there now, so we're gonna switch over, hopefully. They'll have it done this week, but it's gonna start this week, so. Then about the old truck, the one up north, that offer fell through, that fire department did not form. Another fire department came in and kind of botched that up, all the hidden costs and everything. I've got 2 tentative offers. I've got a letter from Evan, he's from Utah. It's a college. They're very interested in the truck.
Utah.
I said, write a letter, it's easy for you,
What college?
read it for me.
Bridgerland Technical College.
Yeah, they got a fire science program. They're very interested in the truck. They've got a 92 that's broke down and needs a new engine. So that they're asking if we would consider dropping it to 15. They're gonna have to pay 20 because, but they're gonna cost 5,000 to truck it to Utah. They're gonna have to flatbed truck that truck to Utah. So we did a virtual walk around. We ran it, we had lights. He wants a video of the truck pumping water, so I gotta do that yet. And then I got another pending offer from Alabama. It's a fire brigade, some kind of power plant down there. That just all came about the last 2 days. So they're gonna get me their info on that. So I've got 2 off, this one for sure. And I got another one from Alabama.
Jane, if or when that's sold, where does that money go? Does that go back into the general fund?
I would think that we should, receipt that back into where we paid it from. So we bought that new truck from CCF and CCD. So my recommendation would be that money should go back into the funds that we bought the new truck from. That's what my recommendation would be.
So just a reminder, with this one, we will not get the full 15,000 because they get 10%. So it'd be 13.5.
Who gets 10%?
Do what?
Broker.
No, the
The
broker.
broker.
Where'd we start out with this? What was the initial price we were asking?
28
28?
a year ago. Yeah, that way, because we wanted to get 25,000, so the 10%, they suggested 28. Well, then we dropped it down to 18. It wasn't doing anything. We've been sitting on it for a year already now, so,
Now we're at 15.
Keep it insured and everything.
yeah. Taking up space.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
So we have space and we're not paying insurance on it.
Yeah, get rid of it.
And it's not doing us any good.
So the money that we claim off of it, it's not for say gonna benefit the fire department directly, right?
No. 'cause
Well, it's gonna, part of it,
The
I mean, if we
equipment's
do
owned by
it the
the
way
town.
I suggested, part of it's gonna go into their
Here goes you, yeah.
Cume Cap fire that they utilize
Oh,
for
okay.
different things.
So just a
I mean, you
percentage
guys
of
can
it,
do what,
right?
you can receipt it in wherever you want. I was just making the suggestion that
That's where it should
seems
go.
to me like you should replenish the funds
Yeah.
that the money was paid out of.
So what if there was another department in the county that could really, really use it?
It's been offered to, it's been
and
offered to
sell
all
it to
of them.
what they can
It's been
afford.
offered. I mean, we had it on the IFA website. Yeah, there's another department. I'd love to see us
So
stay
this- Could we
local.
sell it for what they could afford?
You can actually,
Keep it in the county?
you can actually give it to another department, I believe.
I would even be okay with that.
But I think-
We're doing pretty well here.
Yeah.
There's another,
I mean, the other-
there's another department in the county that could really use
aware
it.
of this, right?
Do what?
The other departments in the county have been aware of this.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to money, though, the department probably don't have $15,000 to shell out, they, you know.
If you're gonna give it, yeah, or sell it
I
at
mean,
reduced.
what's your thoughts on that? You personally?
I'd like to see it stay local.
I'll
It's
have
a
to
great
check on
truck.
that
Make
because a
money.
donation's never been,
We do what?
Even
we
if
have
there
to
couldn't be any
offer it
money
to
made.
the other
Right, but we're not gonna get it in
So at the
directly.
15,000.
It'll go back in. I mean, we're great on equipment right
Yeah.
now, so our grants, we've been very, very lucky getting these grants.
So if we sell it for $1
Do you
or
have
whatever,
somebody,
I don't know if I
Jason?
can say it out loud or not. There's
but
a
just say
department-
local.
There's a local department that could really use it, I'm pretty sure. I think when I say it, Max would know.
I even offered to put bug in APs here, because they had a truck.
This
they
is a
got rid
county
of it.
department, or,
Power plant, I mean, it's local. Huh?
New Boston.
If they have the room.
We can get rid of the ones that don't work.
Yeah, that's true. So,
I think we need to have Kevin research whether
I think we can, I believe, just off the top of my head, we can actually donate it to another department.
donate, even though somebody's.
Legally, you
offering
can
to-
donate.
Even though we have an
Yeah.
offer?
Okay.
I believe so. Don't
Or
hold me-
maybe a
don't hold me to
$1,
that. That's
a
just a bet.
$1 sell?
Well, if we have to sell it to the highest bidder, then it would be to match
Oh.
what somebody else is willing to pay us for it, but
But we could donate.
I'm 99% sure we can donate it to another volunteer
Okay.
fire
I think we
department.
discussed that before.
Donating it. I think we
I think
did
we
too.
did way back
Mhm.
when all this
Yeah.
started.
I'll have to look at it just to confirm, but I'm 99% sure that a donation is entirely legit.
So,
You realize if we do that, that's $13,000 less you got to buy something else with.
Down the road, yeah.
Yeah, so,
It's your truck, that's what I said, it's your guys' truck. So.
yeah.
Plus you
That's
have
just a-
another
that was just
offer,
a
right?
thought. I don't know.
Do what?
Plus you have another offer coming through?
Yeah, Alabama. And I mean, I talked to Kevin, he said, 6, 7, take it down to 17, even if, and we'd even take it to state line. If Alabama, I'd like to wait and see if that offer comes through.
So we'll just table this until the next meeting.
I should know by next.
So talk to
Yeah,
your
I
people.
agree.
Talk to the other department.
We have 2 offers, make sure.
Neither one of these offers may pan out.
I know.
And then we
The
still
other
have-
one
we still
didn't.
have-
No.
The other one didn't.
Yeah, the other one didn't. We thought we had it sold. We
I
lowered
know.
it down to sell it and then they backed down on it.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
Let's see
Okay.
what happens in the
I'll talk to you.
next week or so.
Okay.
Just a reminder, I want to let everybody know about these burns. Please call these burns in when you're burning brush. We've had a call down South Lamar. They started it late at night, went in for the evening, dark. Well, half the dang woods was on fire. Had an incident in Holiday Village, so just call those burns in, have them out at dark, everything, so.
They're supposed to be out by dark.
Supposed to be attended, all that stuff, so. We've had 2 in the last month, so.
Do you know if there's any more DNR burns planned?
They've been burning it to State Park. That's
know.
where all our smoke was.
Yes.
The other day was from Perry County. They burned 1,300 acres.
Right.
And we had an east wind, so it brought all that smoke.
Straight to us.
So Lincoln Park has been burning, but they've been calling all the mutual aid departments, Carter's, us, and Gingerville. So they've leaving voicemails that they're burning.
Okay.
So.
People were freaking
And if
out.
we do get called, we have to put it out. So.
Okay.
We gotta put it out. They may not like it, but we're gonna put it out.
Okay, thank you, Max. Congrats on the grant.
Thank you.
Zach, you're up.
All right, y'all have my monthly report. Run through quick list of things. We had our spring flings and Easter things. I guess that was 2 Saturdays ago, Saturday of Easter weekend. We had, I'd say, a little over 100 people attend. We were able to get all of our egg hunts in before the rain. We had to push a few of them up, but everybody that attended seemed to enjoy themselves. So we were happy about that. On April 25th from 10 to 12, the Spencer County Health Coalition will be having a mental health awareness walk at Yellig Park. I believe they'll have live music. I can't remember if they're doing food this year or not. In the past, they have done food. And then obviously a walk. And they'll also have some literature there as well for people. And then on May 9th, Friday, May 9th at 6:30, Danielle's Dash will also be at Yellig Park. I think this is the 9th year, I think, 9th or 10th. Yeah, registration begins at 6:30, and then the run will start at 7:30 that evening. As far as projects go, we did get the water fountain installed that the Community Foundation gave us a grant for. It seems to be getting quite a bit of use, so we're happy about that. And was able to get, there was a small piece of siding at the community center that blew off. Finally got the weather to cooperate and got that fixed. We did receive a grant, actually I just got notice today, the Spencer County Parks Board has awarded us $5,000 to help us with those grip strips on the bridges on the trail.
Excellent.
So we're very happy about that. And then the only other item that I have is the community center, the foyer restroom. So in the process of relocating the plumbing, they hit a conduit that was poured in the concrete. And so they have submitted a request for a change order to be able to repair that conduit. And I looked at it, basically, the conduit was kind of running at an angle in the corner of the room, and it was right up against basically where the toilet was sitting. So there's, in talking with Universal Design, there's really no way anybody could have known it was there unless they were originally there when the floor was poured back in 1978. He said these things do tend to happen just because there's not really an as-built of all the plumbing, all the electrical, you know, whenever they submit these out for bid. So, would just like to submit that to you guys, to see if we could approve that change order. Those funds did originally come from Cume Building, and I believe that their quote came in under what we had budgeted. So I believe we do still have some money there. The request on the change order was in the amount of $1,620.
Yep. Yep, sure.
Make a motion to approve the change order for the conduit and the floor at the community center in the amount of $1,620.
Nice. Good. Mike, got it?
Okay, first was from Jason, second from Mike.
Good.
To accept this change order for $1,620.
Zach, what does that wire be?
Well, that's the funny part. They traced it, and basically they shut enough breakers off and they found it. So, I don't know. There's some weird things in that foyer. Like, I know a couple years ago, we were having an issue with a ground fault, and it kept sending out a call from the notifier panel.
Remember that?
Yeah, so that's finally we fixed that, I think, 2 years ago. I would assume it had something to do with the offices over in the fitness center. Because we were having some issues where, when they were originally troubleshooting and trying to figure it out, the door control, it's electromagnetic lock, and it's controlled through the Wi-Fi. And it kept dropping out, and we kept having to reset it. So, but they did get it repaired. It's just a matter of getting the conduit back in place. They said it'll be a little challenging because it's EMT in the floor, and typically, you know, on more modern buildings, you don't have that issue. But I think they'll do a good job getting
That's where it
it
is.
buttoned up. So,
Yep.
really appreciate that, guys. Do you have any questions for me? Comments, concerns?
Yes, last month, we also talked to, about the park. Has anything been done with that?
You're talking about
It's a
for the plan?
playground and
Playground?
Yes, so Kevin did give me authorization to sign the contract. I think we were both out of town a little bit, so I actually got that signed today and emailed that off to them. I believe they've actually already been out and done survey work, so they've already got a jump start on it. I can follow up with Clint
I
tomorrow.
was
and
just
see.
curious, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
And I can't remember if I had mentioned it last month. I talked with Clint a little bit, and he said that there could be a possibility that community crossings may entertain bot type projects as opposed to traditional design bid build. That's still kind of in the early stages, but he felt pretty confident that we may even be able to do a bot for the parking portion. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'll be sure to keep you all in the loop.
Okay.
Good,
thanks.
thank you.
And I think Kevin later on has a resolution concerning public-private partnership, which is the bot.
Okay.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hello, Todd.
You guys have my report for March. Any questions at all?
No, some outdoor signs are starting to appear again, so,
You seeing some?
yeah, there's one down here across from the liquor store. Saturday, I don't know if it's still there this morning or not.
Something with, is it a wedding venue one?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, something wedding venue,
Oh, okay.
something,
So
like
it's not-
somebody who organizes weddings for
Not an
people.
announcement, but an advertisement.
Yeah, it's an advertisement.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do a run around and see what we can find.
Expect a noticeable one seen lately. Anybody else? You getting any activity on new building permits or?
We've got.
There's a couple.
We have 3 houses now, I think, going, but
I didn't know if people were inquiring about it or.
it's not yet, not really.
Yeah.
A little more remodeling going on, but The apartments, they submitted their addresses, so
So are they gonna get started
we're
soon?
processing that, and they've been asking about it, so.
Good.
Sent those to the county today, see if they see anything that wouldn't work, but I expect probably first of the week we'll get an answer on that, so. Other than that, I don't know what their timeline is, they haven't submitted any plans or anything just yet, so. But I'm sure that was one of the things that needed to be done before even submitting plans, so.
See, that's a parking lot between the facilities, correct? When you pull in to the.
Apartment?
Or is it
I
on
don't
the
even
street?
remember. Yeah, I think so,
Yeah.
Parking lot, okay. I couldn't remember if it was street or what. so.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it's parking, right. Other than that, that's, like I said, it's been a little bit slow, but, and even the work is going slow. I mean,
I've noticed that.
they're just kind of dragging along, some of the builders, but anyway, we anticipate a pickup here.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
That's it.
Thanks.
Thank you. James?
Hello. All I have is monthly report. Didn't know if there was any questions on that.
Anything unusual going on?
Not really.
A good thing if you can keep it quiet for the next 30 days, I guess, huh?
38.
38.
You're not counting, are you?
All that I'm counting.
Not counting.
He's counting mornings.
Not counting sunshine and,
No, not at all. That's all I have, unless somebody else has something. I didn't know.
All the equipment's running fine?
Yeah, I mean, I have. So, you know, on the 30th, we had a special meeting about training. And it was EMT training for Bo Anderson. And it was decided at that meeting that the town would be okay with paying for the class, but was not okay with paying for the employees' time to attend those classes.
Can I
So-
interject real quick? I'm gonna interject because, again, I stated before, that employee did not request any overtime on his timesheet, which is a legal document. He absolutely did not request any overtime. But the comment that keeps being made is the council decided not to pay him, they didn't wanna pay him. He did not request.
Okay, so he did not request, but I stand by the fact that when we are sending people to training, that they should be paid for their time. So we have another instance where officers, I guess all the officers are going to EMR training.
Most of them, yeah,
So-
all employees.
So the
Eventually.
officers are going to EMR training. These classes are being held in the evenings as well, outside of their normally scheduled times to work. So the officer, we have two officers, one is not on our payroll, but the other one is requesting payment for attending those classes in the evening, 3 hours twice a week, so 6 hours a week. It is overtime pay. So I feel like I need clarification whether, what the policy's actually gonna be, because on the 30th, we weren't gonna pay for employees' time to attend medical training. So now we have other officers who are gonna be attending medical training in the evening and are requesting payment. So I just feel like we should be consistent. And I stand by the fact that I think employees should be paid for their time when we send them to training. I said that on the 30th, I stand by that today. It's not that I'm saying he shouldn't get paid, but we need a policy in place on whether we're paying or whether we're not paying. Because on the 30th, we weren't paying, now there's question whether we are paying. I want it to be consistent, whatever your decision is, I just want it to be consistent, because I do not feel comfortable doing one thing for one employee and not doing something for another. So I need clarification whether we're paying for this training or not.
Is whether we are asking them.
Mandating them. It depends if if you're telling them you have to go to this training,
Training.
you have to pay.
Pay, that's what I thought.
If you're telling them, we want you to take this training,
Right.
But
You are
in,
ordered, if you order them to go to the
Okay.
training, you have to pay them. If they say.
so I guess my confusion is what is an actual order? Is it something in writing he's telling them
if
to
the
go?
chief- Yeah, if the chief says you have to go to this
Says.
training.
Okay,
But
but
if an
on,
officer says, I want to, say an officer says, just to be a better officer, I want to go out to Vegas to the tactical training,
Okay.
or tactical shooting training, because they have a camp you can go to in Las Vegas. I've been invited to it by friends of mine that go out there just to become a better shooter. If an officer says, hey, I just want to be a better cop, I want to better defend myself, so I'm going to go out to Vegas for a week for tactical training. But the town has no input into it, you shouldn't pay him for that.
right,
Or if
but,
he says, I want to start taking Taekwondo or some martial arts class just to be able to better fight off people who might assault him, if the town's not saying you need to take jujitsu, you don't pay him for that time.
okay.
Chief-
But-
police chief says he's
If the
going
town
to-
says you have to take this training, yeah, you gotta pay him.
Okay, but on the 30th, I mean, I can pull the meeting and we can look at it. On the 30th, James said that a child fell from the gym floor on his head. Bo Anderson had no medical training. Chrisney was gonna take a certain amount of time to get there. And I felt it was important for the safety of the students and the safety of the community, so I sent him to training. He used the word sent, so he sent Bo Anderson to training. To me, that's a direction. This is where I'm getting confused, because if he sent Bo Anderson to training, he's telling Bo Anderson to go get training, and then we didn't pay him for that time. So now he's sending his other officers to EMR training, and we're gonna pay them. I'm just not comfortable with why we are not paying one employee, but we're gonna pay others.
It
should
doesn't
be
seem fair.
It should be across the board. We should be
Yeah, I mean-
paying every employee.
But did you tell Bo you have to take this training?
No,
or we're
absolutely
going-
not. Bo
Or
asked
we're going to
about-
terminate,
Say, Bo
I mean, it's
can do
basically, if you don't
about it.
take this
Bo,
training, we're going to terminate you.
Mr. Anderson asked me about the training, told me the price, actually, the EMS director told me the price of it. I said, I feel like that'd be good training if you're interested in going to it. I don't think it'd be an issue to pay for that, it's within the budget line. I said, is that some training that you would like to have? He goes, absolutely, he said, if you're willing to send me. I said, then I think
And
you
he
should go.
sent him.
But it
He
wasn't
sent
mandated,
him.
but he didn't.
Okay,
He
so.
didn't require him to
So
go
are
to
we
the
gonna require him to give these employees a mandate in writing saying, you have to attend this EMR training or you're fired?
Yeah, he should, if you're.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
if you
are
wanna
we
pay
gonna
for their-
require
if they
him
wanna
to do
pay-
that?
If they won't pay for their
That's
time, then
I mean-
yes, it has to be he makes it a condition of their work.
I guess my concern is I have no way to differentiate between
I understand.
employees going to training because they're being sent to training and we're paying for the invoice, and then we're not paying their time. Now, these employees are being sent to training, and, well, there's no invoice because James says that the county is paying for the
Sponsoring
class.
it.
But now these employees are getting paid for their time. I have no way to differentiate between when he's sending someone and we're not paying it, and when he's sending someone and we are paying it. That's what I'm here
I think
for.
we should just.
I need to know, we have to have something.
Well, it should be communication
allow-
between the chief and you saying, I'm requiring these guys to go to this training, so.
Is that what am I not entrusted to, as the department head, as these gentlemen here? Am I not instructed to determine and make that call whether or not these guys go to this
You
training?
are.
Yeah, I think
Because I've
you
been at it a
are.
long time,
The
I've
problem
never had an
isn't
issue.
that. The problem
The
is
problem is not
that somebody
that.
else got training and you said, I'll send you to this training. It's semantics,
I agree.
okay? And then you said, I want to require you guys to go to this training. So send and required. Is it possible that if we pay for the training, but we don't pay for hours of someone who has been sent, that person come back and say, well, you paid for those guys overtime and they were sent to training. So it's semantics. You know, I mean, should we get a paper?
It'd be a good
It
idea.
would be good to have a
Have them sign
paper
off on it where they
that
say I'm
says-
going to this training, but I understand that I'm not on the clock.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that.
That'd be a good idea to memorialize.
And that's what
When they fill
that's
out
all
their
I'm
timesheet.
asking
In the
is,
same way, vice versa, if we're sending somebody to requirement training, we should have them sign it too.
Sign it,
That-
say, I understand I'm required.
We're gonna have a lot of signage because these guys do, I mean, this gentleman here probably did 150 hours this year of training. And he's just a reserve here. and he has a full-time job, but some of us guys do 80, 90, 100 hours. It's gonna be a lot of, I thought I was entrusted to make a decision whether or not these guys.
It's
go
just
to
You
semantics.
are.
It has
And-
nothing to do with our trust in
No
you.
one's saying that it's about the
But
trust.
when they fill out their, that's not what I'm trying to get at. What
Okay.
I'm trying to get at is when they fill out their timesheet, if they put down, just like Officer Helming did, he put on his timesheet that he was going to this EMR class and he was requesting overtime.
Right.
It's my job to look at that timesheet and sign off on it and say, okay, if I feel he doesn't deserve any overtime because it was training that I did not approve, then I'm gonna call him in the office and say, look, man, I'm looking at your timesheet here, we're gonna have to make some adjustments because this wasn't pre-approved.
Okay, so is there,
Well, you're supposed to try to do it through flex time. I mean, if he's working 3 hours on a Thursday evening, then you're supposed to give him 3 hours off on Friday or
Being an
something.
SRO, he can't do
Being
that.
no,
SRO,
SRO, we
we can't
can't.
Yeah,
We
true,
don't have that option.
yeah.
No, we can't leave the school, then we got holiday home
Yeah,
and
I
summer.
forgot about the fact that he's
Yeah,
SRO
there,
now.
there's a lot of factors at this department
Yeah.
that's difficult to just say, okay, take a few hours today.
Oh, I
But
understand.
if we had a backup person for that position, we could have sent the backup in to the
And then,
school.
and then we lose
had-
coverage at night. And coverage at night's the most important because that's when we get most of our calls. We receive more calls after 2 PM than we do during the day. So if we have a gap of 6 PM to 11 PM or midnight, then we gotta rely on somebody else and hope they can get here in time. If somebody's breaking into my house, I expect a Santa Claus officer to show up at 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night and not wait 30 minutes for an agency to come from another area.
Okay.
I think there's,
So it's all about coverage for me.
I think there's two questions we need to make sure that everybody understands. One, and I'm not disagreeing with paying somebody, is that we have department heads and we give them the authority to decide when they work, their employees work, what training they need to go to. And if he signs off on the sheets that said that they get overtime, I don't know why the town council needs to be involved in that.
Well,
Russ,
there's-
Russ, do we have you bring your overtime to us? And we
Well,
approve it?
keep in mind, well, first of all, I probably worked for this town longer than anybody in this room. I've seen several of these conversations come and go. And I think most times we act rashly, and we don't think these things through. I agree with exactly what Jane's saying. I think it needs to be in black and white to avoid these types of situations. Secondly, James and me live in two different worlds.
Right.
My world, our testing, our training is state mandated. We have to do it in order to maintain our water treatment license and wastewater license.
And this police department has.
As do
it, too.
we.
Yes. So 99.99% of the time, training is not an issue. We typically, again, 99.99% of the time, never go after hours. It's always during work hours. Again, two different worlds. But yes, I really think that we need to have a long discussion about this very topic so that we don't do knee-jerk reactions and really think things through.
I think the situation is that if you sent someone else to training and they decided they left and they found out that we paid other officers for training,
But we're protected.
No, I
because
know.
Even if they would take it to court and try to fight it, I could easily pull their timesheets and take it to the judge, so that person's gonna have to lie and say, oh, well, yeah, I did want overtime. Well, you didn't put it on your timesheet, and guess what? You signed.
because it wasn't on the
underneath that,
timesheet.
You signed underneath your thing saying that those are the hours that you were requesting to be paid for, whether it's 40 hours or 100 hours. You signed it. That's your responsibility to make sure that you're signing a legal form stating that's what you want to get paid for. And
Is-
that person did not do that.
And I
Is
agree
He
with
had every
that.
right
Is
to do
there a
that.
way to, and I know you do all kinds of training, okay? But is there a way to have a blanket, like a blanket sheet that's like got blanks and then you write
Yes.
EMR
That's
training?
what they should, that's what he should have.
And then
And I
a
don't have an
signature.
issue doing that.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
think
not-
that would
Basically
protect,
acknowledging that it's not
the
mandatory,
town.
that it's optional
I wrote
training,
that
they're not
down.
gonna be paid.
yeah,
wrote that.
protect the town if you said
Oh,
EMR
that's
training.
why he-
And then,
Next to it, he didn't have-
and
he
then
didn't leave
have
it.
them sign. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Just so
don't
we
have
have, it's because we've had situations where people have been angry before.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I think it would be good if we cover our butt.
Yeah. And I don't have an issue doing that. So it's just-
This sheet, is this part of what we're discussing? right
Yes.
now?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
This says SRO and it doesn't say.
The two times I wrote training next to the times. I wrote training next
On
to
the
the
right.
times. It's
On the very
on
back.
4-7.
All right. Okay, but Jane, you want us to approve this or not approve it, right?
Yes, I need
Well,
to know, and for
she
like
needs
all
clarity.
offices
All right,
going on
Can we take
forward.
this a piece at a time?
She needs clarity.
We need to-
Yes, and then I also need to know, like, are we just going off of the timesheets? Are we requiring proof of attendance of these classes? I mean, what's going to be the,
Well, you get a certificate. If you complete the class, you're gonna get a certificate that goes into your file in the state.
no, I understand
But
that.
that would have gone in Bo's file too.
Pardon me?
Something would have gone in Bo's file too.
Correct.
It'd go
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
state.
Right.
It ain't gonna go to the file here because he's not
Right.
here, but
Right.
yes, it will go to the state.
Yeah.
So even the reserve officers who attend these classes and the state mandated classes, those, and who are not paid, those go to the state, into, Indiana Department of Homeland Security.
So when Bo took his EMT class, there's a class schedule. Do you have class schedules for these gentlemen?
Not necessarily, we don't always get class schedules.
Tuesdays and Thursday nights.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursday nights is all we know. Now, he has to attend a certain percentage of those classes in order to complete the class, and they may not even have discussed that, both of these. I mean, Ryan Gribblebauer's doing it for free.
So
He's
do
not
they
getting
take
paid. He's doing it
attendance,
for all
or
the
what,
time.
what happens when you go to these classes? Do they take
You
attendance?
sign in.
They sign in.
Sign in each night.
We have a list of everything that we do every single night and every hour that it's paid for, that we can get to the council. Everything.
Yes,
Right, so the sign-in sheets.
yeah.
I'm not giving them the sign-in sheets, that's the instructor who does that.
Right.
We can get you the itinerary of everything we do
They should have a syllabus.
every night.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have a syllabus.
And the
Right.
syllabus.
And the reason I'm saying that is because when the State Board of Accounts pulls all of these timesheets, I mean, we have to be able to prove that they're taking classes. We normally have a certificate of completion, we normally have something, like, we're gonna have to have something.
Get a certificate of completion.
They're gonna get a
That class requires, is it 60 hours?
Let me make one more comment.
Lord, I did a long time.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, and this is not any type of threat towards you guys at all, because it's gonna affect me. But what's gonna happen is it's gonna continue to be bickered over, and as you see these guys leaving, your whole department's going to leave. And you're not gonna have a police department here. Now, you can deal with the public when the public comes in, especially during an election year. This is something that continues to get bickered over, and we've been doing it for years. We've went through multiple times, we've went through different audits. We've never been in trouble. We don't do anything illegal.
I don't think anyone is bickering over the fact where, I think they should be paid. They absolutely should be paid. I will
agree,
stand by
and
that
I know
a
you do.
thousand
You
times.
100% agree
I
with
keep
that.
saying
I'm
that,
not
they
sure why
should
we're
be
voting on
paid.
it, but
So I
that's
don't
not my
know,
decision.
It's the,
we're talking about it
People-
again tonight because I've already been told not to pay employees for this very similar type of training. So now I feel
But
like
we're
I
talking
need
about-
to be told to pay it
I know, but
because
we're
I'm being
talking-
told not to pay
We're
it.
talking about an
So
employee who
I'm-
did not request it. Now we're talking about an employee who's requesting it.
But see, I
If that
guess
other
that,
employee- If that other employee would have requested to be paid
but see, this.
overtime, that's totally different. We would
No,
absolutely
see,
have
it's
to have
not
that
in my mind,
conversation.
because if we're paying, we should,
James stood right there on whatever night that was and said, Bo is not requesting to be paid for this
Correct.
multiple times.
he did say that,
But-
but Bo has never said that, and that's beside the
So
point.
that's calling me a liar.
No,
No.
it's not,
That's what he's
James,
doing.
it's just,
It's
you're
different.
taking this
I
way
know,
too
I
personal.
made a statement that Bo
You're-
said he wasn't
Okay.
going to get paid for it, so you're saying, well, Bo didn't say it.
Well, let
So
me
what's that
just,
saying about me?
okay, we've already had this conversation, I'm not calling you a liar. The thing is that, in my mind, is I'm being told not to pay one employee, and now we're in another situation where we're gonna pay. I think they should all be paid. I've said that 1,000 times, they should all be paid. But the question to me is, where was I going with this?
How do you determine who gets paid and who doesn't?
even if they say, like I said, when the salaries are argued, I said, don't pay me if we can split my salary somewhere else.
Oh,
You know,
that's
my
where I was
money.
going with
Okay, so legally, not allowed to do
I'm
that.
glad you said
I
that,
have to get
'cause
paid.
that's what I was thinking.
Because everybody else gets paid. I have to. I said, give my money away, okay? Which my husband would
Well, I
kill me for.
appreciate you doing that, because
My
I've-
husband.
I've done it several times.
Okay.
As chief, I've refused.
Done
to
the
take
same.
raise.
Okay, but you have power over that pot, right, of your money, okay? So I cannot do that because I'm one of these guys. So your police officers, all of them are a unit, and one of them says, don't pay me. That's what the concern is. And then everybody else says, well, we're gonna get paid for this. So I think that we have to have some kind of documentation that says, James said, take this class, so that it is.
And waive
We will
payment
have
or
that.
not. I
We
feel
will
like
have that. I'll prepare somewhere he
Okay,
says.
and then, yes, just so
Yeah.
we make sure yes, you understand that? It's.
And that's
it's-
where I was gonna go is it's fine if Bo does not want paid, but I feel like there's nothing in his file that states that. We're paying some employees, we're not paying others. There's no paper saying that they're waiving payment. I mean, I feel like we need to either pay everybody, and if he wants to redonate it back, do whatever he wants to do with it if he doesn't want the money. But it needs to be consistent. That's all I'm here for, is it needs to be consistent. We're either paying employees or we're not paying employees. If we're not paying them, should they sign a waiver saying that they don't want paid? So we can have that in their file, that they signed, that they don't want paid. And I understand the timesheet thing, and that's what he's saying has already happened.
Yeah.
I get that, but going forward, I think it needs to be more clear, and that's the only thing I'm here for, is that we need to have a set
Just so we know.
training policy on what's gonna happen when these situations arise.
Okay, and like
That's all
Ryan.
I'm asking for.
Ryan is reserve. Do we need to make sure we write something about that as well?
Well, they don't get
Because Ryan
paid.
is not.
They don't get
He's
paid.
not on
They're not
payroll.
employees.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I just needed to make sure, I knew.
But there's also nothing in state statute that says if they go to training that they can't be paid for the training.
See,
Yeah.
so.
We'll get,
there we go.
I'll
Yeah.
compare.
Can't be paid as a police officer.
Yeah.
So then that's
I just think we
another
need
thing.
a lot of clarity.
All he needs is a form that says, I understand this is not mandatory training.
Okay.
Even if the town is paying for the cost of the training, this is not mandatory
Okay.
training, and I understand that I'm not going to be paid, and I waive any right to be paid.
That's
Or any-
exactly what I want.
That's all
That's
all
all
he
I
needs.
want.
So anytime that somebody says,
Yeah.
I want the town to pay for the, I mean, if it's just training off the books, like I said, they could be taking, I mean, theoretically, somebody could come in and say, well, I took karate classes, so I should be paid because I'm a cop, and that helps me be a better cop. But, I mean,
But
just
we've already
because
addressed
they're
that.
doing things that are
We've already
training.
addressed that the
and
department
if he
is
goes to
sending
James,
that.
hey, James, you think it'd be a good idea if I take karate? And James says, sure, it'd be a great idea to take karate.
Then pay me.
You don't pay him for
Tell me.
that.
Yeah. I think the state
Or
board of
like I said,
accounts
a
has
tactical
become very-
firearms course, anything that they say, hey, obviously I want to go home at night, so I want to.
My opinion is, if we ask anybody who's employed by the town or a reserve
Remember this.
with the part of town to do a particular training, we should reach out and help them.
Yep.
You know, whether it's.
Did you hear that,
hourly,
Ryan?
but-
Did you hear that?
Reserves can't get
I can't get
paid for training.
period.
They have, they're required to take it by the state, but they cannot.
Especially you're a
Okay.
state employee. so.
Okay.
You have to get secondary employment approval to be a volunteer.
Okay,
Not get-
so you cannot, okay, okay. So,
Can you be reimbursed for mileage in that?
I mean, next year, I live 2 miles from the town hall. I'm not worried about the.
so it's
4
all
miles.
semantics, it's all the wording and the
I'm
fact
thinking
that
you
some
had to
people
drive, whether-
will do anything. Yep. Okay, so we'll get a paper.
Yep. I can
We'll probably have a new SOP regarding training, and anytime an officer who does any training that, which they expect. to
Required by
receive
the
it,
chief.
so
Yeah,
We'll do it.
we'll add it to the SOP.
Perfect.
Excellent,
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your time.
thank you.
Is this going to get paid now? I mean.
Yeah.
To my knowledge,
It should be.
It'll get paid.
I mean, James signed off. I mean, it's no different than, I mean, I don't know that you'd have to verify they were at the training or anything any more than I mean, do you really know that on Friday, 4/3 from 7:30 to 3:30 that
He's gonna get a certificate.
Logan Helming was
Of course,
actually
he's got 80
patrolling for those?
hours.
I mean, he's reported to you that he patrolled those 8 hours,
He's gonna
but
get a certificate at the end of the course, and he's got 80 hours wrapped up in
Right.
it.
unless you're gonna verify he was at the school every day for 8 hours and all that, I mean, you're not verifying, I mean, you're relying on him to truthfully report it. And you're relying on James, if he has any questions, to question him, and they both signed off on it, so I wouldn't say, I mean, obviously, there'd be much more dire circumstances if you find out later that he reported hours that he didn't work.
Yeah. And just to go back, when they do the state training, there are sheets that they have to sign, and all those sheets are kept by the instructor, is that not right? And the final sheet is signed, and the instructors send a copy of that back to the officer, to the department, and to Indiana Department of Homeland Security.
And then I send it to ILEA through
And
computer.
yeah,
I have to enter each,
because your
yeah,
PE number,
yes,
all that stuff went into that
Yes.
file.
yeah, I mean, there's a trail
And we've
of
been,
everything.
we've been doing that for long before I was here.
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Okay. Anything else?
that's all I got.
Okay, you wanna talk about trails, so Russ, keep us seat?
Thank you, dear. Russ needs to move.
My Smarties and my chocolate.
He,
They're,
I can throw you some
You
here.
guys are making them look awfully good.
they're right here.
I brought them, sorry, man.
I'm diabetic, that's all you need.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Well, you,
I'm not diabetic, but I'm addicted to these.
looks like the rest of yours.
I knew this was gonna be a big night, so I decided to sweeten everybody up a little bit.
I can
I
have it.
thought for sure we had a candy thief in the room.
No,
We do.
I have plenty of Smarties if anybody wants more.
Trails.
Apologize right off the bat. I didn't want to seem evasive earlier, but you guys know that's my job to be evasive with you, right?
Yes, you do a fine job of it.
Like I said, I believe I've been here longer, being paid for the town
Than
hall than
anybody.
anybody here. It has always been my mantra not to dabble in other departments. I'd let them take care of their own, and I'd appreciate it if they let me take care of my own. So, with that said, I don't really have anything on the agenda tonight, pretty much straightforward. As previously mentioned, we did finally get the trail project started. And we did hire Knies Construction to do that. They started out on the west end of the project, and right now they've got, my report is a little old. I should say the data is old. As of today, they're 920 feet into subgrade treatment of the trail. So they're moving right along. Thank goodness we've had the weather for it, so. If weather continues to cooperate, they plan to make very good progress. I would see by the end of this week, they will be at least to the old tennis courts. Right now, they're just immediately west of the new tennis court. Now, keep in mind, this is just subgrade treatment. Removing topsoil, putting stone down, compacting that stone. They've also found a couple of soft spots, which will cause what we call pumping. I don't know if you've ever driven on a dirt road or gravel road and your tire and the ground kind of sinks and it comes back up. So those are dug out, recompacted, et cetera. That's really it. There's nothing really exciting to report. It's just, down in the dirt building right now. So, once we get along to like the bridge process, we do have a pretty nice bridge scheduled. We're slated for, again, right there by the old tennis court. So once I get the final design on that, I'll share it with everybody and kind of see what.
And this isn't interfering with any kind of school, business, or
No,
sports, or?
No, no. The short answer is no. We do have concerns, of course, with maybe cross-country or after school.
Tennis, or-
Somebody
yeah.
maybe getting into the construction zone. Knies is very conscious of that, and they're trying their darnest to make sure that they've got warnings, cones, et cetera. So,
Excellent, thank you.
And just back it up, the school has been in favor of this
Yes.
project ever since we started
Yes.
the first trail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They are
Just making
very
sure.
excited about the trail, and they're
Yes.
very interested in seeing it done. They've been more than cooperative, and that's not really the right term. They've been very good teammates, team players in this deal.
yeah.
so.
It's the kids I was worried about, not the school.
Yeah.
The kids.
I think they were the first letter of support I received back whenever we applied for the flat funding, which.
Yeah, was from the
Where
school
county
system.
road Into the,
Right.
into the whole idea that the trail was gonna officially connect with Santa Claus and Wayland.
Okay, so then we need to approve this.
Invoice.
Yeah, I will maybe converse with Jane to see if she We may not be ready to entertain that tonight, and I don't know how we need to.
We can entertain payment. I did talk to Pat Moore about where we're gonna pay the engineering fees from, and I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that. We talked about whether we were gonna pay these from the TIF, because it wasn't exactly, you remember we were, yeah.
It does serve the TIF area.
It does serve the TIF area.
So let me check on it.
Okay, so Pat Moore and I are working on, we can go ahead and approve the invoice, for payment.
Yeah.
And then, pending,
Where we're
you know,
taking
where
the
we're
funds.
taking.
Where the money should come from.
Okay. Do we have a motion to entertain, pay this invoice?
This one right here, Midwest.
That was, I just saw two copies.
It was right under here.
Who made the motion, Brian? Or
Yep.
Joe, Mike? Okay.
Mike
Right
and
under.
Jason seconded. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Let me know it passes 5-0.
Thank you, Kevin and Jane, for helping me with that, and I apologize to Jane for just kind of
She
blindsided.
brought that to me earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look yet. I've not got myself in paid.
But no, thank you guys, appreciate it. Rest of my stuff is just a bland report. There are a couple of things I would like to highlight. Now that the trail project is in full swing, I will make notes under the street department, which is, you know, near the bottom. And it's like the last sentence I put, bold trail project, just a brief updates. Right now, there's really nothing to report. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be that exciting of a project, because it's so straightforward. It's just take topsoil off, dig out the soft spot, put stone down. Again, once we get toward the end where we're getting crosswalks and signage and stuff like that, that's when I will look for council approval and input. Not that there will be a whole lot of that either, but no, I think it's gonna be a good project when it's finished. Again, under open action items there in the street department, we have several things planned, some road rehab, some ditch work. I got Aaron and his crew working on some of those right now. And then again, at the bottom, trying to keep this council, this board updated on the Mariah Hill Water Project. And as stated, all the water mains are in, all the hydrostatic testing is complete, the bacterial test passed. We did extend that project by, I think, 1,500 linear feet, because we had some extra pipe in the system, and it will go toward the extension on into Mariah Hill later on. So we figured that'd be a dollar saver by going ahead and just, hey, you got the pipe here, put it in, and we'll pay for it, so.
Good.
But any question on the Mariah Hill water line? Oh, I do want to point out, and like I said, I keep harping on this money thing. We are not in financial straits, but we are having a difficult time paying for repairs, replacements, etc. On that note, we had a large pump fail at our main lift station. All the sewage from all the areas comes to that pump station, and that pump is dead. There's no reviving it. We're looking at about a $50,000 pump, so I may look into some type of emergency spending deal. I said we're not dire at this point, so just the council may see that show up on an invoice when we had to buy this new pump. It's a critical part of our infrastructure. Because I'm not going to say what I usually say, but it's more or less, if poop doesn't happen in my business, we're in trouble. So, and you guys are too, so you're the second recipients of that.
Is that a common pump defined or not?
Oh, well, going back to some earlier conversations, I don't think proprietary is the right term, but 99.99% of our pump stations have these types of pumps in them, and we do that for a reason, so that they can interchange. It's difficult to find in the sense that, again, we have those, we have all the spare parts for them, all the backup. So, and these are Xylem pumps or Flight, they used to be called Flight, I believe they're still called Flight. There is one representative in the area that we've been using for 30+ years to supply these pumps. So it's not like we can go out and get a Meyer or a Hydromatic to put in this place, it won't fit, it physically would not work. So. Does that answer your question?
Kind of, but kind of not.
Yeah, so that's my job, to be evasive. I was trying to be evasive. No, really, just clarify your question, I will try.
I guess, okay, we know what brand it is, so that company's still in business making pumps.
Yes.
And you can get replacements for that pumps, correct?
Yes, yes, that's
Or
correct.
if I need a whole new pump brought in, they can bring in something universal that would fit into that.
Doesn't happen in this world.
So right now, you said that it's not critical, so I think
No,
the
it
situ-
is critical.
I know, but
Right now,
I
it's
mean,
not. In the wet season,
that's what
it's
I mean,
critical.
yes. So I think what Kevin's saying is, so we're gonna be okay, you're gonna be able to get something, and it's going to work.
Yes.
Once we get to that point.
Yes.
Okay.
He and I will be
Is that
doing
what
this
you're
in bed
saying?
at night as well. We will be laying in bed thinking about it at night, he and I will, until it gets
You
in
will.
there.
That'll be your new phrase, is if poop
Yeah.
doesn't happen, something's wrong.
You got one ordered and it's coming, you just don't have it yet, or?
No, I wanted to bounce it, I wanted to prepare you guys for this.
For
This is-
50K.
This is like a 30 horsepower pump, it's not a small pump. And yeah,
Well, let's go ahead and get it
I've done
right.
that before, and I typically do, but, you know, I just wanna again stress the point that we need to be looking at this rate increase, because this is what happens. We've had to rob Peter to pay Paul this year on several items.
Is the drive up to date and all that stuff?
Drive is up to date as you're gonna get, yeah, yes, so yeah, you're absolutely right, we got 2 VFDs in that same cabinet, 2 VFDs, 1 across the line starter, and I think 1 soft start, so.
Well, find
Yeah,
out what you gotta find out and get it to us as soon as, so
Yeah,
that we can
well,
get it
and-
taken
and
care of.
Kevin brings up a valid point, these do come from Sweden, so they're like 11 weeks
Yeah.
out once you get them ordered. Now, they've tried to upgrade, they try to keep some of these on the shelf, but a 30 horsepower pump, that's not common, I'll say, so it may be 13 weeks out when we order it, so. Just kind of making the council aware of where we are. so.
Yep.
Okay, now you mentioned something about the rate study, how are we proceeding on?
I have not heard a word, and again, that's
I haven't either. We reached out to Baker.
London Whitty, I think, was
Lane
one
or
of
Whitty,
them.
or Baker
Thornburg.
And you've not heard anything?
Oh, I don't know if we decided, or.
We never decided. No, we
Yeah.
did reach out to them, but they never have
Get a
given me
quote,
anything. So
yeah.
I can reach out to.
Yes, please.
Multiple people, I guess, and see.
That'd be great.
But as I talked to Russ earlier, as far as a rate study, I would like to include some of the future replacement of what we started on last year, with the sewer lines and that, and also.
And I think that's a solid line of
continue
thinking, absolutely.
Moving forward, if we can build some of that into it. I'm not saying getting it all done,
Yeah.
but we need, you know, for each time we do a rate study, we need to plan to do something.
Absolutely. And I
Some
think
X
typically
number of miles
things
up.
like that are somewhat built in, because I could use to spend $100,000 a year on, torrent repair, recall, and then actual, I do maybe 1,000 foot of pipe a year, either dig and replace or whatever. And I'm not doing that anymore, so.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do what we did major
Absolutely.
last year, trying to save
Yeah,
expense down the road with our sewer plant and stuff like
Absolutely.
that, because the less water we send through that plant, the more life we get out of it.
yeah, and you're 100% correct in that, because again, that mantra is, just build a bigger bucket at the end to catch all that water, which, you know, like I've said numerous times too, you're not just sending water to the plant, you're pumping it through other pump stations, electrical costs, wear and tear costs, insurance we've talked about, so all of those things can be also our actual permit, our discharge permit through the state. Not that that's a huge cost, but your permit cost is based on what your design flow is and what your actual.
Russell, I think I know the answer to this, but have we spent almost $5 million in the bond?
Yes, we are down to less than 1 million. In fact, I think I've got $130-some thousand left, I think. Which, we are still, I'm sorry, that number is totally wrong. I still am awaiting an invoice from the pipe rehab folks. The last square up, they did another section of service area for us. I think that invoice alone is $189,000, so I've got 220,000, I believe, left from that original 5.7, or whatever it was, so.
And we got a lot of work done with that 5.7.
We got a lot of work done, and we've made a lot of improvements to our system, so not only did we mitigate or lessen the amount of rainwater getting in, you guys have enough, the town has a system that will last another good 50 to 100 years.
Excellent.
unless the council has any particular questions. Did we ever approve the invoice?
Yeah.
$9,000 one?
Sorry. Yeah, I think that's.
Or you want to go double or nothing on her or something?
No, I want some more than chocolate covered peanuts.
They are good.
There was a water leak at Ashburn and Walnut, you know what I'm talking about? You sent some guys out there to,
Yeah.
don't mess with that no more. I'm getting to widen that right there, so don't spend any more time cleaning it
Oh,
up.
you're talking about there on the north side of your house?
Mhm. Right there in my yard.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that no more, don't spend any more time on it.
I was gonna say, 'cause I thought we'd been out there once.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to widen all that, so just
Good deal.
don't waste any more time.
I'll pass that along. Thank you for that.
I mean, thanks for the effort, but don't waste that.
No problem. That's all I have.
Industrial park, I have a question about that.
Okay.
Industrial park. Okay, so it is zoned commercial,
Well,
okay?
one part of it is, right?
I'm trying to get this, yeah, all clarified in my head. Okay, it's zoned commercial. When the Santa Paws asked for a residence, they were not going to build it within their building, is that correct? It wasn't, it was a temporary standalone.
Standalone.
Okay, okay. And, but like Airbnb is okay, because it's commercial, correct?
Yes.
If property is purchased from someone who already owns property, it's still zoned commercial, correct?
There's only a couple places that are zoned commercial.
Yeah.
Just where Santa Paws is.
Okay, right. And where Maddox, that strip is zoned commercial?
No, just, I believe it's just that red
No, it's
rectangle.
industrial.
Oh.
No, you can't go off the map, that's all. It's just where Santa.
Well, that's why I'm
Paws
asking. I didn't know how updated it was.
Maddox was rezoned commercial.
Okay, but all of Santa Paws is zoned commercial?
Correct.
Like everything they own?
Correct.
Okay, so if, let's say, for example, somebody sells the property they have already purchased, like, say Santa Paws or Dylan Warren decides to sell part of that property, that property remains
What it is.
commercial.
Commercials, yeah, stays commercial.
And if it's zoned industrial, it stays industrial.
Okay.
Until you made it appeal.
Okay.
Yeah, until the town council
Can
alters the zone.
Can a building that is commercial, like if Santa Paws wanted to put an apartment in their building and it was a residence, it would not be, even if it was in their building?
Well, it depends on what they're using it.
Right,
You can use it for right there or not, you can't use it.
but you couldn't use it as a home. Okay, I just needed clarity on that.
Lodging is a commercial use.
Okay, okay,
Residential use,
okay.
365, 24/7 is.
This is just for my knowledge and for people who ask questions.
The town doesn't have that, I mean, when they came to the town, the advisory planning commission, I mean, they actually discussed that some towns have a clause in there, because it used to be, people had their you think of Main Street USA.
Yes.
They had their store on the bottom.
Right, and their houses on,
Their
like,
house, and then they might
4th
have
Street in
their-
Huntingburg
Yeah,
has
like 3 or 4
residents.
story,
Mhm.
You know, the old facade town buildings.
Mhm.
It was common, people lived above the store.
Yeah,
And so I think Dale still has that where.
Yeah.
It allows owner occupied or employee occupied commercial use. But the town doesn't have that because it was never an issue.
so what if it is? Would they go to the zoning then? Would they go to, or,
You could actually ask the advisory planning commission to do a public hearing and consider rezoning or altering the zoning classification for commercial or adopting a new.
yeah,
Something like a business type, zoning classification, a new zoning classification where you allow it in some areas but not in others.
so if, like, let's say, and this is totally hypothetical, if Dylan Warren decided he wanted a residence so he could easily serve his place, that would not be allowed?
No, you would
Okay.
have to get it
I just
rezoned.
need to, this is, and I'm just using it as an example, okay? So I didn't know, because I didn't know what happened when the property is owned by someone and then they sell it.
It stays the same.
Thank you. I just need to be sure that I know what I'm talking about.
If they build it as a, and say they're going to use it right there in a lodging, but then you find out that someone's living there
Right.
24/7, then.
It's
a
illegal.
violation.
Yes, okay.
Right, so
I
like
just
in
need to
your,
be sure.
your example, Santa's Paws, let's just say they own
Yeah.
a large amount of land.
Right.
Well, if they sold part of that off, another business
Business can go into
could
it.
go into it.
Right,
Because
okay.
it's zoned commercial.
I just need to make sure, and
Yes.
Santa Paws cannot have Santa Paws could not have a full-time residence, they can only have a work-related,
They can't, they got told no.
oh, they can't even have it in the building?
No.
Okay,
They knew that when they came and.
I know, in the original, I know, I'm just, people ask questions, I need to know.
Some towns do have the
Right,
employee housing inside of.
but we do not have anything, okay. I just want to make sure I have my facts straight in case something happens, good.
Okay, I just have a question, and then the land, the Dillon lot is still industrial. That
It
has
is.
never been-
One of the
Yeah.
one of the requirements of that.
Even though Paws is commercial, that's.
That's still
Right.
industrial, okay.
So he has to,
Yeah,
apply to have
ask
that
for
changed,
zoning,
right.
right. I'm just making sure I know my facts because I don't like to spew anything but truth, truthfully. So thank you, gentlemen. You can leave now. Get out of there. Thank you. Okay,
Since we're
Pat Moore.
going on,
Our surveys,
Still waiting on the survey.
who is it?
I have checked with, Beeler, Cash Wagner, I'm gonna reach out to Morley because I have all this week that it's actually, Ron Chambers is now with Morley. He's actually able to get to it within 2 weeks for somebody else on his farm, so I'm gonna check with him. It'll be more expensive with Morley, I'm sure, because they're out of Evansville, they do a lot of consulting engineering. They do, I didn't know he was with them, but.
we just,
I'm not gonna worry about you.
Oh, yeah, I'm not down there anymore.
They do, and they say we'll be back. So I'll reach out to them again.
okay, we need to get somebody in.
Yeah.
Problem is, they're not so much about the woods just down here, there's a lot of back with it.
Yeah, it was like Paul T. did, they're coming out to do this farmland, I think, 40 acres. Surveyed it, took 2 weeks, $5,000, $6,000.
Why?
So you're gonna be.
Just get her done.
$15,000 here probably to do the survey.
Okay.
That's what it is. Maybe we can get a cheap deal on a deed.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, tell us what we gotta do with Kimball.
Okay, you actually have 3 statements of benefit. If you recall, each year you must, resolve whether they are substantially compliant. You have the original ones, they should have a pack on you. They send you the original pack.
she emailed these to me and this is all.
Well, there should be a pack on this too. I haven't
Okay,
seen
well,
this
if,
tonight. But, if you look, the first one I'll go to is the estimated start date, it's for the new kitting equipment. It's dated 3/1/23.
Mm-hmm.
If you see there that they estimated on their SB 1, which is what they submit whenever they initially ask for the abatement, they estimated that they were going to only have 272 employees, and they actually have 342, and they estimated their salaries to be 6.8 million and change, and their salaries are actually at 15.9 million, almost $16 million. So I would say that they probably, you might want to resolve that they did substantially comply, because they've more than substantially complied.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do these separately, or can we
Yeah,
do them
you
all?
go separately.
All right.
so how are we going to, I don't see
There's a back to this that Kevin would sign off on.
I don't see a number to approve. They all look the same. They all say the same numbers at the top. How are we gonna differentiate?
Because it's for the new kitting equipment.
Okay, so by kidding, we're
Okay.
just gonna go by description.
Okay,
Okay,
If you look at their description.
I see it.
Investment equipment, look at the big box bracket where they come to the table here, there's There's one for new kitting equipment, there's
Right.
one for flat.
So that's how we'll vote.
And there's one for new CNC and panel saw.
So, and it's okay that the numbers are the same on the three?
Well, they're going to be.
Okay, okay.
Two of them are at the same time, if you look, well, about the same time.
They're all different dates.
Yeah, the first one was the first one I was
It was
looking
in
at.
2022, the third one was in 2023 and 2025.
Okay,
So the first one, I would say you should.
The kitting.
I just pulled them off the top, the new kitting equipment used in the production of office
right.
furniture.
Okay, I make a motion that Kimball is in compliance with the new kitting equipment used in production of office furniture.
Second.
Have a first and second from Trish and Jason. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay, and I abstain.
The second one is the flat pack product packaging. As you can see, they had a different estimate as far as the number of employees. They had estimated 309 employees with $11.3 million in salaries. They've actually got the 342 with the same, obviously the actual is going to be the same on all. That's where they are at last report.
Okay.
So they, again, underestimated what they were going to be doing on this one, so they were probably, you should probably find that they were in substantial compliance.
Make a motion, we approve the compliance statement for the flat pack product packaging equipment.
Second.
Have a first from Mike and a second from Jason. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. One abstention, be myself.
And the third estimation on the SB one is the same as the first, with the 272 employees with 6.85 million in salaries, and the actual being the 342 with 15.9. So it's the same as the first one you approved. So this is for the new FFT CNC and panel saw.
I'll make a motion to approve the state that they're in compliance for the new FFT CNC panel saw.
Have a first from Mike and a second from Brian. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. I have one abstention, again, to be myself.
The only other thing I have for you, for your consideration, is resolution 2026-03 as directed at the last meeting. This is a resolution of the town council of the town of San Claus, Indiana, authorizing alternative purchasing method. It does allow for the use of the BOT agreements as set forth in IC 5-23-3-1 for the Park and Rec department to use for the expansion and improvements to the playground beyond the park. So you're authorizing an alternative purchasing method that already established by town.
How long would this be good for? Is it a year, or do we gotta
You
take
don't have
it?
a deadline on this, I mean, it's just for their, they've got the plan, I think it's their entire plan, because
Okay,
if you decide to not allow it in another circumstance, then
But this is only for the renovation of the playground,
yes.
as stated.
You have a carte blanche allowed, I mean, this is, like I said, town department, you've already got a purchasing ordinance that did
Okay.
not allow for this. So, I just made it broad with regard to their current
Okay.
expansion plan, let them use it, because if they like using it, you might want to consider if they come back and say this works a lot better, we got it cheaper than what we thought we were going to get it, if we
Okay.
bid it. That's just a project, had it designed by Midwestern bid, so.
Okay, I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-03, resolution of town council of town of Santa Claus authorizing alternative purchasing method.
Second.
I have a first from Trish and a second from Jason, and Mike.
Simultaneously, yeah.
Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know it passes 5-0.
That's all I have for you.
Okay, the only thing that I have left is, I would like you guys to entertain the idea of, Universal Designs doing a, scope on what it would cost to extend the town hall. This is something that's been brought up a few different times. We're desperately in need of storage and other things. I do not foresee us, building a brand-new town hall anytime in the near future, so I would like to entertain the idea that we expand the town hall towards, the campground. And, we own quite a bit of land on that side of the building yet. And it's gonna be a pretty good-sized expansion to be able to do that. So, Universal Designs has, submitted a scope of work basically for them to do a rendering of what that would be. It looks like the services are for $6,300 in order for them to devise that. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna give us a better feel on what the cost of that project will be if we choose to move forward with it in the future. I think it's something that really needs to be taken into consideration. I know I've brought it up. Kevin has said, other clerks have brought it up. Kevin himself has brought it up about the fact of, that our, yeah, for about 20 years, Kevin says he's been bringing it up. So, you know, one of the concerns, not the only concern, but the one concern is that the town hall documents being located inside the police department. The police department is supposed to have secure access to it. Not everyone should be wandering around the police department, and with the files being on that side of the building, it is a security concern as well. It's just something, we also, you know, could utilize a second meeting room. There's plenty of times where we're juggling who's meeting in here when the auditors are here. We have to constantly tell them they have to get all their stuff and get out because of all the meetings and stuff that are held in here. You know, it would provide them a small meeting room for open enrollments, the auditors having a place to work. It would increase, we could have another shared office space. A lot of the employees do come up to the town hall to utilize office space when they're out and about. Currently, they come in here or sit in my office where Todd sits and works. But, I mean, we can develop a lot of things by just expanding that out a little bit. And I think it's really something that needs to be taken into consideration so we can start working towards procuring the funds, knowing how much it's gonna cost to do that. I mean, right now, we don't really even have an idea of what that would cost. And so this would allow us at least to have a plan and an idea of what that expense is gonna be. I know
At the
that,
present time, we don't have room for another office if we start the water district or anything like
Yeah,
that.
no
There's
kidding.
no room for.
I mean, we're just limited, and like I said, I don't foresee us having the funds to build a new building to accommodate those needs. So really expanding out that direction is really our only option. I mean, it also will allow more parking here in this back parking lot, for the staff. Not just my staff, but the police and the utility workers when they come and everything. So then Kevin parks back there. He's raising his hand. With the extension of the building, it would actually. Yes,
It's long
yes.
overdue.
I think this is a great capital project. I mean, this is a great thing. So,
Okay,
Also,
so,
have we thought about just converting, having our meetings elsewhere in a building that we have here on site, whether we're starting to go back to the community center or fire department, they have a room there for meetings and that, or we start going there and you convert this into rooms 2 at the time with your expansion?
I
Or are you
believe
really
as-
doubling up on?
as many times as things happen and we have to access, I mean, there needs to be office things where we have our meeting, copy machines and things happen that we need to access
well,
that
that,
area.
I mean, Zach can help tell me the exact possible square footage, but I believe when Cammie came out, did she say it was, we could get about 40,000 square foot there? Is that what she said? No.
That's an acre.
Okay, well, obviously, I'm not good at that.
4,000?
I can't remember what she said.
4,000, that's what I was thinking, around 4,000 square feet.
Now, granted, you're gonna have hallways.
Yeah, right.
Some of that square footage.
But even if you would add, 3,000 square feet, that's nice. Wonder if there's any way to pop this out and put the bathroom openings on the other side. There's all kinds of, then this would be an extended room. I don't know. I say yes, let's study it, yes.
I make a motion to
We do.
move further with universal design on a future
Second.
town hall
Good.
expansion.
First and second from Jason and Mike, on this design proposal. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, passes 5-0.
And where would you like for me to pay this expansion from? The CCB funds, because that can be used for the town hall. Do you want me to pay for it out of rainy day or, yeah?
CC.
Clerk treasurer's paycheck.
Good idea. No,
CCD or clerk treasurer's department.
Okay,
No, CCD, that's it.
I'm writing down CCD.
Good, do that. And then you have an ordinance second reading?
No, we're gonna table that.
Okay,
for
that's
that
right,
special
I
meeting
forgot,
that we're
that's
doing.
right, I apologize.
So if anybody has anything else miscellaneous, if not, I have vouchers.
I would like to make a comment
Yes.
that I mentioned this the other night, and I think I'm gonna say it again, that the sheriff is aware of that we're changing, chief of police, and she offered to add additional, officers working this area if it's needed. We end up with things that are covered,
Vacancies.
and whatever reason, she will make sure that the town of Santa Claus gets extra patrols
Yes,
if we need it, so.
yes.
And to piggyback on that, I did ask James the other day if he had posted Bo's position on the ILEA site, and he said he had, but I have not received any applications at all for that position.
Okay.
Just to update you on that. So I don't know if we want to expand that posting to include any other hiring sites or besides that one.
I think we're,
Any of the local papers or, have we done that or not?
We have not. We've only posted it on there. And I think James was posting it just internally, just for if other officers come to the town hall and can see the posting. But we've not pursued any other avenues. So I don't know if you want to put it on the Santa Claus Facebook page, the police department's Facebook page. Do you want to do Indeed? Do you want to just
I think
let the ILEA keep going? But I have not received any applications at all.
I think I would like to table this till the new chief
Okay.
accepts the job or starts, and then we can get his
Okay.
input, what he would like to
Very
do.
good idea.
Yep.
The idea site's probably the best if you want a lateral hire to start to get at. If you do it in the local papers, you might get interest, but it's probably gonna be somebody that
Hasn't been
Yeah,
through
but I'm
this.
just surprised we haven't had any applications at all. Not even one.
I don't know how much is out there, but that's where you get who you want,
Right.
somebody who's already in college.
And when
They all live there.
Chris gets here, accepts that also this Southwest Indiana Law Enforcement Training Council is something
Okay.
that,
So we'll just let it ride until, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess we should say Chief King now, right? Chief King, or Special Deputy King right now.
Chief, Chris, too.
Anybody have anything else before the vouchers?
If you would let us know if you hear anything from Chris.
Yes.
About when he could start and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh, I need to say homework. Everybody think of a CETA member. Be thinking about that, because we said we were tabling it till next meeting.
Yeah.
Kevin Patmore would be a good one.
I think you would too. I would love to have Kevin Patmore represent
I
us.
think his values and their values would line up.
Kevin, would you like to represent us as a seated person? Just think about it. Thank you. Think about it. Yes, it's Tuesday mornings, 9 a.m.
And it's a one-year appointment,
in
right?
Christie.
I think I already know.
Yeah, it's a
Ryan's
one-year
answer.
appointment. It's just nice to have a little bit of say in who represents us. Mhm. No one has control over you, Kevin.
Your wife does.
That's it. That's all I needed to say.
Okay.
So we have homework.
All right, I have general vouchers in the amount of $70,789.22.
Approve general for $70,789.22.
Second. Have a first from Trish and a second from Brian on the general voucher, $70,789.22. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, passes 5-0.
Okay, I have wastewater vouchers in the amount of $65,060.11.
Make a motion to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $60,060.11.
Second.
First from Jason and a second from Trish, to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $65,060.11. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, passes 5-0.
Okay, I have payroll vouchers in the amount of $98,983.87.
Make a motion to approve the payroll voucher in the amount of $98,983.87.
I have a first from Jason and a second from Brian to pay the payroll voucher in the amount of $98,983.87. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, it passes 5-0.
It's awful low, that's not right.
I know.
So the only thing we have right now is documents to sign.
Yes, I did.
Have a good evening. Thanks.
Take care.
Do you want me to sign the universal design thing, or do you want to sign it, Kevin?
I can sign it. But then again, I should make you sign it because that's what you want.
I think it's awesome.
Might be expensive, we'll see.
It will be.
Oh, yeah, if you're trying to save money, you might quit now.
It will be.
I'm
Yep.
always trying to save money.
It'd be cheaper than what we could do
That's my job.
5 years down the road.
That's what you
probably.
pay me for.
It is.
It's long overdue.
Save money and watch how we're spending it.
Reminder, May 5th is election day.
Oh, yeah, we probably should have said that. We should have said that.
Yeah, about the voting times.
That was very good, Mike. I wish the press was still here. Well, one half is.
CHRIS. KING.
Second Tuesday of next week.
I will be calling him, probably this evening, after the meeting, and having a conversation with him, letting him know it was, the appointment was approved and whether he's gonna accept it with the pay at 65,000. I'll be letting him know. And if he accepts it, then I'll
Things
be
are
getting a
falling
start
apart.
date from him. So you can check back with me if you want. Okay, you got my email, right? Yeah, just check back with me and I'll let you know what the update was. But yeah, I plan to call him tonight,
I'm gonna
since it's not
paperclip
too
this
late,
one.
so that way
Because
he's
this is one mess, right?
aware.
Right
I
here.
think so.
Before he hears from somebody else.
I paperclipped it.
I mean, he could be watching at home, I don't know, but.
Yes, is this more than one here?
Yeah, there's my copy and then the one that goes in the book, yeah. You gotta sign them all.
Jane, you're killing me.
You gotta sign them all.
Jane, you're killing me.
Come on, Smalls.
Oh, okay, you're talking to her, not me.
No,
Isn't the name on there for them to sign?
yeah,
Name's underneath. I'm
yep.
confused.
So what was the little powwow back there thinking it was gonna change our mind because?
Hey, still recording, still.
We haven't adjourned.
I don't either.
Okay, well, say what you wanna say.
I believe
Make
that,
decisions like that, they could be councilmen.
I believe that our police force is just trying to make a unified stand, and they question, and they don't have any power over questioning.
I don't know why James.
We did everything
James is so mad
legit.
about me wanting a
I know.
policy. I don't know what the big deal with that is. But,
We all looked through the applications, we chose the people who would best serve us, and we chose the one who stood out more than any other.
We gotta send these back, you gotta sign them.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's
Come on,
pushing
Mike, you're killing me.
through. This one pushes, doesn't it? Or not? Good, it doesn't.
What's your Santa Claus volunteer fire department t-shirt?
Lucky. The executive order
I
ones.
like it. I like all the trucks and stuff on the back. Isn't it cute? It's cute.
Yeah.
I'll be in Indy.
Thank you for
Monday,
catching that,
Tuesday.
Mike. Thank you. You
Yeah,
want
I
me
think so,
to?
too.
I think it's somebody else's turn to buy, because those dang peanuts cost a lot of money. That was for Jason, because he always picks those, whatever. Oh, I know, anything chocolate makes me happy.
Didn't you used to give out something like that for Christmas presents? Almonds.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Have a first from Trish and a second from Jason, to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.